Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Robbie with True Flame Tech, an upcoming tech and Linux focused and decentralization YouTube channel on, well, YouTube. I'm recording this on my smartphone right now because my setup is kind of non-existent. I'm in the middle of moving, as you can kind of see. I typically run Pop OS. But aside from that, I want to comment on one of your recent podcasts/videos regarding the Universal Linux apps, specifically Snap. I believe that Canonical is keeping Snap proprietary on the server side because they want to make it feel safe for proprietary software to be on the Snap store and avoid piracy. Notably, the things that hold people back from Linux, such as the Adobe Suite, I should say Adobe Creative Cloud, and Microsoft Office, and any other proprietary software that wants to jump on the Linux bandwagon. Why do I think this? Well, for one thing, it doesn't make sense any other way for me. And Canonical has a long history of making the open source community a little bit more open to proprietary software. Their usability first, not so much idealistic for open source. A good example to start out with would be Codex. A big reason why Ubuntu was popular wasn't just the package management, it was also the ease of installing Codex. They made a big deal about teaming up with, I believe, Technicolor originally to get Codex on Linux distributions. So that's my 2 cents there. And they're trying to get proprietary software in the Linux ecosystem in a way that proprietary companies would be comfortable with to avoid piracy. You can't really throw something in the AUR, for instance, and expect that not to be pirated eventually, at least. A good example of this, well, we don't really have any solid examples yet, but the closest thing we have to proprietary software that I know of on that level would be DaVinci Resolve in the AUR. But I'll just end that there. Finally, I want to comment on one of your other videos, which is talking about Linux-based tablets and what's available for Linux. I want to shout out my own website right now. It's truefla.me, truefla.me. Again, that's truefla.me. I've been very, very active in the ThinkPad community for a very long time, several years. I mean, a lot longer than that. But I was using ThinkPads way before I knew they were cool. I just kind of found them and used them, and I was like, oh, well, hey, it's cheap. And now I realize that they're probably the best laptop on the planet until we get fully open source firmware and all that jazz, which is probably never going to happen. But anyway, we can hope. And the reason I bring up ThinkPads is because ThinkPads aren't just laptops. You have the ThinkPad Yoga, you have the ThinkPad X1 tablet, which I hope to get soon because it has a really nice aspect ratio. I like more square aspect ratios like Surfaces and Macs have. And ThinkPads are amazing. Almost all of them are Linux certified with Canonical and Red Hat helping with that certification. ThinkPad's hardware is easy to upgrade, easy to fix most of the time. And it is extremely inexpensive to purchase because companies buy them in bulk and then they resell and refresh their systems every 2 to 3 to 4 years. So that means right now you can get a ThinkPad X1 tablet for about $300 the first generation. I think it's a 5th gen i5 or maybe an M series processor. For around $300, you can get a ThinkPad Yoga 12 for under $200 with an SSD 5th gen i5, 8 gigs of RAM for around $250. I know as soon as you guys air this, all of my buying options for those units is going to go bye-bye, but hey, I'm giving it up to the community right now, so you guys can get some value out of that. I almost never spend more than $250 for any of my laptops, and these are not shabby laptops at all. But I recommend, again, my website. I have a ThinkPad Buyer's Guide on there. I have a free software list for mostly Windows, but I'm getting into Linux more and more, even though I've been using it since around 2002. But most of my former clients were Windows users. So there's a ton of stuff on there, but I highly recommend the ThinkPad Buyer's Guide. My YouTube channel and my website combined get around 6,000 to 8,000 hits a month, so there's definitely some value there for everyone. I just want to shout that out, and hope you guys enjoy your day. Thanks for hosting Destination Linux. See you around.